Introduce yourself.
My name is Olajide. I am the president of Ikorodu Sickle Cell Club. I live with sickle cell myself. I'm a journalist and the editor of a magazine called African Sickle Cell News and World Report.
What has been your experience on sickle cell since the beginning of your life?
Well, it has not been easy. I've received a number of blood transfusions, especially in my childhood and teenage years, and up to the time I was introduced to a dietary supplement called Jubilee.
Now, how did you come across Jubilee?
It was in 2004, about that 2004. I was in hospital. I was dangerously short of blood. The doctors insisted that I must have blood transfusion, but somehow my wife refused. She said she didn't like to see me receiving blood transfusion so many times. So the woman called her and asked her to go and buy Jubilee and that we should be discharged. So my wife asked for a discharge, which the hospital reluctantly gave. So we now went to the market to buy Jubilee. I took it as prescribed, and within 14 days, I was hale and hearty, and at a point I couldn't walk more than a few meters without getting very, very tired. In fact, I would start to heave with breath and tiredness. I would need to rest for a few moments before getting on again. After taking Jubilee for less than 2 weeks, I was able to run a short race.
Now, you participated in the clinical trial at last week. Can you summarize your experience?
Okay. Yes, in 2012, about 4 years ago, I was one of those who took part in the Jubilee clinical trials. I got to meet a lot of people, members of the sickle cell clubs around Lagos State and other parts of Nigeria. Personally, I've been taking Jubilee long before that, so I knew that it works very, very well in cases of low blood. Now, having met all these people and being a journalist, I interacted with them, I interviewed them. I wanted to have a feeling of their experiences with the food supplement, with the dietary supplement called Jubilee. I also interacted with the nurses who told me that Jubilee has been the solution for all these emergency blood requirements that children and adults face, especially children and adults with sickle cell. They told me that within a short time of taking Jubilee, these children and adults quickly get back to their normal PCV, their steady state PCV levels. So it has been a wonderful experience having to interact with people taking Jubilee, and as well for myself.
Have you ever had any crisis of blood transfusion or any problem ever since you've taken part in that clinical trial?
As I said before, long before taking part in the clinical trial, that was in 2004, I had my last blood transfusion, I think, in 2002 or 2003, if I remember correctly. Ever since I got to know about Jubilee, I've not had a single drop of blood from the outside. I have maintained my own blood level at steady PCV of about 29-30%. So since taking Jubilee, and even after the clinical trials, I continue taking Jubilee. Till today, this morning, I've taken Jubilee. It has been my potent blood builder, and it's the blood builder for all time as far as sickle cell is concerned.
So would you recommend it to people who are living with sickle cell disease?
I not only recommend it to them, sometimes I give it to them for free to go and try. I know that Jubilee works for me, and I know quite a lot of people for whom it has also worked. So after taking it for a few weeks, they come back to me and tell me, please, we need more of the Jubilee. And I am happy to say that Jubilee has been one potent medication for avoiding blood transfusion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.